between two paths, I think it is easy to become paralyzed with figuring out which way is the best way to go. And when we start to obsess over which way is the best way to go, we end up going nowhere. And so I'll preface today's live talk and meditative contemplation on choosing the right path and taking that first step towards it by saying that our objective for today is to be very clear on what path we are walking towards, consciously bringing that into awareness and having confidence and trusting in that decision so that we can take actions throughout the day that are aligned with this in mind and we are not torn between two. And cannot say I'm an expert in this space. In fact, I feel like I'm quite the opposite of an expert. I feel like I'm just somebody who has struggled a lot with taking one path, choosing that one way, and not being double-minded. I have struggled with double-mindedness my whole life, and I wanted to take this opportunity to address it and be more clear instead of more solid, just a solid foundation for us as we take steps forward. So I also have this poem that I wrote on a gum wrapper that I just wrote like an hour ago or so, and it's really simple. It says, two paths. I am teetering between two paths, where I am paralyzed between the two, so I take a step forward toward a path that is new. So simple. And the thought is that, and maybe not to confuse anyone, but maybe more clarity, is that sometimes, often, there are more than just two paths. And sometimes there's a way that you can take a step forward and receive from both of those paths, but nobody else maybe that you have seen in your experience has done it, so you might not have conceptualized that that was even an option. Anyways, that's what I got from the poem I was trying to convey. So really quickly, I wanted to just share that the main thing I'm learning actually comes from somebody that just like started a business 4 months ago and now is one of the biggest AI music tools in the industry. They met up with Post Malone the other month. Yesterday they met up with Mark Zuckerberg that wants to invest in their company. And I feel very mind-blowing because I've known this person when they were working on different projects and made zero money, and now they're making like a good amount of money. And I learned a cool lesson. We went on a walk, went to the Apple store. One of our friends wanted to get a new laptop because theirs was kind of dying, and he wanted to use like a student discount, and I was like, I have a student card, like I have a student ID you can use, but they weren't sure if they're gonna get it now or later. And the friend that has a super successful business that just is like blowing up, he was like, man, like kind of wasting time, just make a decision, because time is of course a super valuable asset. And there's something about being in between and how that leads to failure. You know, when God says, either be hot or cold, but if you're lukewarm, I'll spit you out. And there's something about that. And I asked my friend, and I was just like, bro, you know, how do you make fast decisions? And the way they shared it was really interesting. Of course, they're kind of their background, they were like a bit of a race car driver before this, but they said if this is like a race, right? And there are two people and they're kind of building similar things. And a decision is like a tree, and it's like a pause in the race where you get to choose, you have to make a decision, left or right. Now, one way might be longer, one way might be shorter. But if you stay there and you think about which way is longer and which way is shorter, you will spend more time than if you did both of the ways combined. Because you just didn't move. You just didn't move and figure it out as you would go. And so I think that for me was something that helped me get out of being in the in-between and just take that action and realize if you're always kind of not sure which way to go and you kind of pause and don't do anything, then you're not going to go anywhere because you're not moving forward. So how can we use this in our own lives? How can we get ourselves from being out of the in-between? And I quite clearly have like an example of I have two different kinds of demographics that I could serve at this point in my life. Which one do I choose to serve? Who do I choose to build this product for? Who is the foundation for it? And in my heart, I feel like I know the answer, but I feel torn because I told some people something and I told some people some other thing, and now I have two people saying different things, and it's different kind of feedback. So centering in and being very clear about your values, I think, is where this part comes in. You don't have to share your core soul affirmations to the world. You don't have to blurt out your mission statement to every single person that sees you. But I think there's power in having one sentence that you can say to yourself that is the core of why you're doing it, and this should be your belief. And so belief has been so powerful for drawing me out of being in between of these two sides and just giving me a clear side that I am centered in. And so I encourage you to take a moment to just breathe into your soul and ask yourself, what is it within me that is a core belief that kind of fuels and helps the rest grow? Like, what is it and what does it do? Because I think that's how you're going to really see the decisions will be on automatic mode. You won't have to think so much about, should I do X or should I do Y? Or maybe I should do Z. Because you'll have that information and it will all be answered in a simple belief system. I think belief systems also help us when it comes to directing our energy naturally. When you have a belief system, let's say a limiting belief, then you're limiting yourself from believing in that. Therefore, you're no longer pouring energy and the possibility is no longer there. Again, when you make a decision, you're cutting off all other possibilities from being manifest. And you are defining that energy as with the decision that you make. So I think having this ability to center into a core belief for your soul is really important. I did one for the business, and I think it resonates pretty hard for Echo Chamber. But I think one for my soul is even better because that is who I am. So echo chambers, and this is an example for you as we will kind of close today's video by just defining that core belief for our own being that will help us make those decisions so that when we get to the pitch in the road and we're not sure which way to go, instead of being paralyzed by this way or that and then splitting our energy because we don't want to miss out on some opportunity or possibility that is the cost of when you make that decision. Instead, we can trust that, okay, my belief system is aligned with this decision, I can make this decision, I can move forward clearly. So the example with the echo chamber, we believe that everyone should be able to go to a garden and get access to fresh produce. Cool. And so that makes it very clear of what we do and what we don't do. Okay, cool. We work with people, we work with plants, we find locations on the planet. to help connect them. Great. It helps define a lot of questions. And so when I look at who am I helping? Am I helping people that are growing produce by giving it to people that are within the local area? Yeah. Am I showing people's government's data from the gardens? Yeah, but which one resonates more and which one is more aligned with the mission? You kind of get it. So now we're going to do that for ourselves and our own souls. We're going to set a belief. And I encourage you to have a pen and a paper or on the notes app in your phone, or even just say it out loud in the mirror, write it down somewhere. What is your core belief? What within your soul resonates true to you always? Ask yourself, what sentence from my soul resonates true to me always? Always, always, always. Let's see how clear we can get. So the first one that comes to mind is I help people, plants, and the planet. I help people live harmoniously with the beings on the planet. You know, I'm just kind of continuing to refine it with each one. And I'm like, that doesn't really resonate all the way. Like, there's something in the back of my mind that's like, no, you're missing something. I am a conduit for harmonizing the balance between people and their relationship with the planet. Cool. That feels pretty good. And you could just keep going, write them all down so you can reflect on it and just underline the top one or ones. If you have multiple ones, then use that information, combine them. You should only have one. One defined sentence. I am a conduit that harmonizes people's relationship with the planet. Cool. That's what I do. Awesome. Everything I do, all the choices that I make, are aligned with that. But Esther, what if the two choices are still aligned? How do I choose from there? Well, I guess it would really depend on each individual situation. And I'm still learning, but I feel like this has helped me a lot with making decisions, feeling more confident in the decisions I'm making, and just be very clear on steps moving forward. And I think there's a beauty in even just acknowledging when you are paralyzed and it's very hard to figure out what steps or what decisions to make. There's power in just doing that, in being aware of the fact that, hey, I'm stuck. We're not here to fixate on it, but we are here to bring awareness to it so that we can then have the energy needed, necessary to just allow ourselves to flow. And for me, prayer has been really important. I've been pretty much praying every day, just asking, like, what is the foundation of my life? What is the purpose to me being alive? And I'm finding that it gives me more permission to take breaks and to just live and not obsess with there's a mission that I have to complete and I have to be on the mission. And it just gives me permission to just be as I am, and to go outside and look at the sky, touch grass, drink tea, smell the roses, like literally, talk to strangers, cry, draw, create things that are just being created for the pure joy of the process. And so that's what I'm learning in this chapter. If you need clarity with your decision, pray on it and then make that decision. And before you make that decision, something that has helped me is be like, when you make this decision, it's done. There's no going back, and trust in yourself that you're making this decision for a reason. And I find that when I do this, it's amazing. It really does work. Just trust your gut. I asked recently, 2 days ago, this lady who I met at the garden, and she was 81 years old. She has cancer, stage 4, and she's not sure when she's gonna go. And I asked her, what's some wisdom, some life advice that you'd like to share? And she said, trust your instinct. And I found that really interesting. Just trust your instinct. This lady who is just living each day, day by day, just, she said, trust your instinct. Other people may say other things, but at the end of the day, you have something innately within you that knows why you're here. Your soul knows why you're here. Your body was created for a reason. You have a purpose. And sometimes that purpose is as simple as just being here and being aware of your experience, being aware of what's going on, and just vibing, just experiencing it, talking with whoever you're talking to, sharing, tasting the experiences, the foods, the sensations that come your way. Sometimes I believe your purpose can be as simple as exploring the whole creation that God has given us to explore. And for me, I feel very, very strongly that I'm here to help harmonize the frequencies of the earth, specifically the humans on the earth, with the rest of the planet so that we can live a more harmonious life together. I don't know how. I really do not know how. Because when I tell you it just is a feeling, it's just a feeling. And the feeling does not come with an instruction manual of how to reverse engineer and unbox and define. But I find when I actually take time, a break from what I think is my mission, I make more progress. I make more progress when I take a break. Because when I take that break, my mind starts to wander and think in ways that it wasn't once yet, you could say, given permission to, because it was just so focused on you have to do X, Y, Z. So that when I take that break to take care of myself and explore this energy of just openness and just peace, things start to happen. In fact, every time I take a break, I'm noticing that's when the breakthroughs happen. When in the moments that I'm like, I'm just gonna take care of myself, I'm just gonna go for a walk, I'm just gonna get some fresh air, I'm just going to, interact with this person because I genuinely enjoy their energy, that's when things start to happen. Not when I'm trying really hard, I'm pushing to get this mission. And I think that's a beautiful thing, and I'm still learning to trust in that and kind of take down the concepts of how I thought I was supposed to go about my mission, because those were expectations I had from, being raised and growing up in a very strong hustle mindset society. But it is so incredible now. I'm surrounded with people working on their startups every single day, and when I tell you, every time somebody takes a break and they do something that's just to take care of themselves, I see the results. I see the correlation between that break, giving themselves permission to just be and to nourish themselves and give them the energy that they felt like they didn't deserve, or they had to do something to have. And I feel that. I feel like on still a certain level, I'm holding myself back from receiving what I'm here to have. And I'm trusting in it. There's no need to get frustrated and be like, why don't I have it yet? Why isn't it there? Because everything is divinely orchestrated and it's happening as it should. And that's a really cool thing. It's going to come when it's supposed to. You do have the power to receive it right now. It's not about if you really want it. It's not about if you work really hard. It's just about trusting in the divine orchestration of things and knowing that you are receiving exactly what you need to in this moment. And so I'm learning that. I'm learning right now, these two paths were presented for a reason. You don't have to be paralyzed and overthink which one is the right way for me to go at this time. All you have to do is take a step forward and maybe even close your eyes, take a couple steps more forward, and then open them when you feel good. I think the feeling is such a powerful thing for leading our decisions, but balancing it with, of course, reality is also quite beneficial. And if you can find a balance where you are taking account of reality and the information that you're receiving and the feelings that you get when you are excited, when you are sad, when you are mad, when you're frustrated, when you are able to take account of these feelings and facts and step forward with both of these in your awareness, you will make good progress. So allow yourself to do that. I'm still learning, but again, I think having this mission statement for my own soul helps a lot. Like, cool, I'm here to harmonize our relationship between people on the planet so that we can just vibe with the earth on that frequency. That can look like a lot of things, but for me, that resonates. And yeah, I appreciate that. Feeling good is a fantastic thing, and you can give yourself permission to feel good more. I think I'm still like, I feel like I have to do all of this stuff to get to where I want to go. And I'm slowly like breaking down these walls of that I had put up with this belief system. And the more I break down these walls, the more I see that, in fact, just surrendering and allowing myself to receive is so much easier said than done, first of all. But the more you practice and the more you see these small results of, okay, wow, actually taking a break caused me to be more productive. Wow, this is what I want. And I can just ask for it. And people do want to help me get there. That is powerful. I'm still learning, and honestly, I feel like the next step forward is not as big as I may have thought it was in my head. And that honestly helps me take that step forward a lot faster. So I hope that this helped you make that decision. Instead of staying in between paths, take the step forward towards whatever path feels good for you in this moment and trust in your intuition. You got a gut feeling, go with the gut feeling. Your instincts are there for a reason. They're inherently a part of your being. They are ingrained with your soul and your ancestors and all of the good, juicy stuff that makes this world and this experience so wonderful and magical. It's all in there. You already intuitively know. And the fighting yourself, for whatever reason, cut that. Cut that. Cut that shit. You don't need to do that. And it's easier said than done, I know. But really and truly, you can, in this moment right now, give yourself permission to be in harmony with your own decisions, with the path that you choose to take. And you can trust that it is the best path for you right now. You can give yourself permission to do that. To take down the walls that are saying, I don't know if I'm going to make the right decision. And to take down the ideas that you're not capable of getting what you want or creating what you want to see in the world. You can give yourself permission to make good decisions, to take the path that is right for you, because inherently in your soul you know. And I can't tell you how to connect with your soul. I mean, I can give you some tips, I can give you some pointers, but I think the best way is really just like in silence, in isolation, for only a few minutes a day. Talk to yourself, connect with yourself, understand that your intuition is always with you, that God is literally a living being that is living and breathing through you, and that you have this connection to the source of all life, and it is coursing through your body, and you can use this energy every single day, every single moment, in every single way. You can use it to help direct you. In all my ways, I shall acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. That's pretty fantastic. So you can do that. It's actually kind of cool. So I hope that you do. So that was good, Michael. That's big lesson today. And it's a learning process, but I'm so thankful to be learning this lesson in life, to be gaining more confidence and clarity with the connection to Creator, God, Source, Oneness, and be aware of how I'm just using this, right? It's a wonderful thing. chill vibes here. You know, we just want to be clear, and the chillest vibes. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But yeah, my friend, I hope that you find your one soul sentence that really resonates with your mission here on Earth. Keeping it simple, keeping it clear, and making it just feel good for you. Two, allow yourself to make decisions quickly. You don't have to wait, you don't have to overthink it. You can trust in your instinct when you make these decisions. And three, if you are doubting your soul mission, your purpose here on life, or which way to go, which path to take, then literally allow yourself to ask God, to trust that there is the creator within you that knows everything, and you can connect to this being because it's within you again. And they created you, and they want you to succeed. They want you to be happy. They want you to figure out why you're here. And if you are lost or unclear, then you can always turn to this being because it will clarify the way, but it does require you to like be quiet and receive the word that comes up. So, yep, the good health, the secret to good health without trying. I love it, fam. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this. Take those three takeaways and run with them, grow with them. May you do what you are here to do. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope that you enjoyed this little session. I really appreciate being able to share some time with you, and this talk helps me as well. Like I'm going through this with you guys, so yeah, thank you so much again for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope that you continue to just do what your heart loves doing. You're only here for so long, your heart's only gonna beat for so long, so you might as well enjoy the process. And I think you'll find that more good things will come from it. So much love, namaste, God bless.